What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another live stream. Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday, August 12th. We're going to get a little pre-market stream rolling today. Before we jump onto the charts, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading's risky. Most traders do lose money, as I punch my microphone. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research, make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. What is going on, chat? Good morning. Good morning. Let's see what we got going on here on these charts. Going to be taking a look at NQ to get the morning started off. And since we are in pre-market here, nice and early, we're going to get some chart markup done together. I'm going to zoom out on the daily chart here. Makes it nice and easy to mark my prior day high, overnight low. So we're going to go ahead and grab Monday's low right there at 23,587.5. Prior day high right here, Monday's high, the 11th, up at 23,804.5. And then is this going to be, oh, that's my prior week. My overnight high, which is still forming technically right now. This is going to be my overnight low. Nice. So this is going to be more like our Asia London low. That's really what we're looking at here. But as you guys know, not taking too much info off of these levels when we're scalping on the 1 minute stupid aggressively, for lack of a better term. What's up, chat? Wolf, what's up? My duck needs some prep. He's taking off back in 2 days. Guys are funny. I'm calling PETA. Lee, what's up? What's up, Trader Julie Kate? Rob, what's going on? Relaxing Zen, what's up? Good morning. Good morning. See, we got more people rolling on. What is going on? Welcome back to the show. Alan, what's going on? The boys and girls on kick. What is going on? Good morning. Good morning. Carlos, what's up? Mac, I can't pronounce any of your guys' names. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to the show. What's up, everybody in X? If you guys want to hop in, I'm going to throw this one time before I even get started. Looking for a trade for y'all over in X because I can't even chat with you guys. I can't read this stuff. If you want the lowest latency, no ads, you can check out Kick. If you like YouTube, you can check out YouTube. I'm streaming to both of those platforms right now. So for y'all in X, there you go. In the chat, you've got the YouTube stream link and the Kick stream link. More than happy to have you guys on there. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Good morning. What's going on? There we go. Now everybody's waking up. We got everybody hopping on. What's up? We got the early stream going today. Colby, what's up? Trader Julie Kate, what's going on? Ange, Cart, good. What's up? Enzo, what's up? Kingpin, what's up? Good morning, everybody. And everybody on Kick whose names I can't pronounce. What's happening? What's happening? All right. Like I said yesterday, if you guys don't know, I unfortunately been going to like back-to-back funerals this week. Just part of life, what happens. So I have one of those coming up today. I'm not able to stream for NYSE Open. So we're going to get a little pre-market stream in here and then maybe hop back on for Power Hour. Probably hop back on for Power Hour as well. So let's see. Opening up below VWAP. Let's take a look at this. Not opening up at all, actually. We're in pre-market. 7:57 a.m. We do have some news coming up. Overnight session looking pretty damn choppy, right? Asia overnight, even before London open for NQ here, putting our high end up here, low end up here. Very choppy back and forth session. Kind of drifting lower, but I'm anticipating some of this chop to continue here. I don't know that we break out below yesterday's low or even the low that we put in down here around just right around the 600s, 23,600s. I'd assume we kind of chop around this this VWAP area. If I take a look at Bookmap, which I certainly do, got a big stack of orders up here. If I zoom out quite a bit, you can see some really nice stacks of orders here on NQ. The 645s, less than 10 points above price. We got a big stack, about 500 on the book, and then 10 points above that, the 55s. This looks like it was moved from here to here. One of the benefits of using Bookmap, you can really keep an eye on where orders are getting moved around. But if I zoom in a little bit closer, try to get rid of seeing that order because it will really shift the color of everything. Yeah, maybe like the 615s, 610s. Nothing too crazy outside of those. Definitely crazy, those two bad boys. But outside of that, nothing too crazy. If you don't know what Bookmap is, it is an order flow tool displaying liquidity. Heat map showing us resting buy and sell orders on the book. And if you haven't seen this this wild NQ scalping, because it's mostly been either in the overnight session or for power hour, it's pretty damn zoomed in. It's much more aggressive than my normal ES trading, right? Where we're putting trades on. They typically last a longer period of time. We kind of hang on to the trades for some movement. These bad boys tend to play out pretty quickly. Now, pre-market, we're looking a little slow so far, so we'll see. But I'm interested to see what happens as we come up here, right? Oh, they pulled that order off the book. Take a look. Order pulled. Yeah, so we got some stuff getting moved around. I'm interested in a sell right off of VWAP, honestly. If we cracked above a little bit and I can get a stop loss above here, I really wouldn't mind a quick short on this. I think we could get a little reaction back down towards these 20s. Simple area that I'm looking for. Been pushed to the upside. Really haven't pulled back too far yet. Even if we're going to continue higher, I don't think we just slowly continue to drift. We certainly can, but I wouldn't mind a pull up into this area. Maybe the 650s. That's a nice round psychological number. That's another 10 points. I don't know that I would wait for that. But again, these are higher frequency of trades, much lower risk. On a 50K account, we're talking like $200 risk per trade. I could take multiple of them, multiple wins, multiple losses. Not gonna break the bank. I wouldn't mind a little bit more of a pop to the upside out of this before a potential pullback down. Let's see. Yep, the order even up above that got pulled. The 655. Take a look at that. That's interesting. There we go. Order filled. I'm going to get short on this one, guys. Try a little short for a reversion back down. Yeah. Fixed take profit and stop loss, but as I've talked about, I'll be discretionary with this stuff and move it around as we go. Take profit, stop loss levels. 10-second rule here on Top 1 Futures says you can't have profitable trades be 10 seconds or under. Got to be just a hair over 10 seconds. So in the time that I put this trade on, that's about 10 seconds right there. But got to be cautious of that if you are looking for some nice tight scalpy style trades. So let's see. Can we get a little bit of reaction off of VWAP, or are we just going to blast through? Stop loss above this high. Maybe we come and just sweep this by a couple points. Widened out just a little bit here. But I'd like a reaction right here, right into this area of consolidation, this area of high volume. Little pullback, right? Even if we are going to continue higher, oftentimes we don't just blast in one direction for forever. Simple reversion trade right around VWAP. This is not too scalpy with one contract here this morning. This is not super volatile. Could almost be running it with two contracts. Let's see what we get. Take a couple trades with you guys. Like I said, I'll stop myself out probably around Probably around that $600, $800 level. If I drop down about that much, I'd say, market's just not agreeing with me. I'm not reading it the way that I'd like to read it, and time to take a pause. But we'll get a couple trades on with you guys here for pre-market. I got about until 9:15 before I got to hop off. So we got a nice hour and a half coming up. Taking a look at, which is what I wanted to do with you guys, taking a look at what we got coming up. We have 8:30 a.m. CPI news. Let me pull this up so I can show you guys. Trade running, short from 23,643 and a half. Stop is at 23,656. That's what I got going on right now. But take a little look together at this one. We've got 8:30 a.m. CPI news. That's likely to cause some serious volatility. I'd be shocked if we didn't get some volatility out of this one. I think we see a nice candle print on this bad boy right here. Reason for caution, right? If we're going to run trades into this, I think it's going to be a quick take profit, quick stop out. You could obviously say, hey, I don't want to trade news. That's not my forte. I don't want to deal with that at all, which is probably what I would do if I'm not in a trade. But it's pre-market. We're scalping on NQ, right? We're trading the 50Ks. We could have some fun. So we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. Rest of the week, nothing too crazy on Wednesday. Thursday, I need some more coffee. Thursday we have, again, 8:30 a.m. news, and then Friday we got quite a bit. But this is pretty heavy. This is pretty heavy right here. So this is going to be interesting to watch out for 8:30 a.m., see how the market reacts to that. What's going on, guys? What's up, Carlos? What's up, Neo? Hello. What's up, Free Zeeks or Zex? However you pronounce that. What's going on, guys? Let's see. In the Discord, top 1 futures commented on 10-second rule. Cool. What did they I DM'd you in a Discord screenshot of top 1. Oh, let's see. Yeah. Yep. This is same stuff right off of the Trader Julie Kate. Same stuff right off of the main, rules. Minimum trade duration, 10-second rule, right? All trades must remain open for longer than 10 seconds. Just made a video on some of the rules that people talk about for top 1. If you add, right, you can potentially have to hold your trades for a little longer. But yeah, anywhere close to 50% by way of quantity or profit is going to be a problem. So just something to take note of. I had someone comment, like, I'll read you the YouTube comment. Hang on. Ooh, there we go. Got a little reaction. Sorry, guys. You know what happens when I start live streaming? I get really distracted because I start talking to you guys, and then I completely get distracted with what's going on in the chart. So let me just watch this for a minute. We had some drawdown there. We're going to get a break and retest and a pop to the upside of this VWAP, maybe. I like that selling pressure coming back in. I don't know if we really can sustain that. It would be nice, just back down to this area of high volume. We hung out here a handful of times. I think this is a reasonable spot to look for a potential take profit. Maybe a little bit tighter, something like that. But for now, I'll leave the... I don't even know where it was. I'll leave the take profit down here. I think we were right at 250. But again, I'm discretionary with this, guys, right? Meaning I'm going to apply my subjective interpretation of market-generated information, right? I'm going to use that market-generated data as it comes out. And then I really do have to review my trades pretty aggressively after what I've done, right? Do I hold on to trades for too long? Do I clip winning trades too early? Do I move stop losses? All these types of things. So, not sure if my stream's frozen. I can't see the ducks. Yeah, we were getting some... somebody let me know if this trade starts moving. A few hiccups is no big deal. DMU in Discord, screenshot, afternoon. Yeah. So, again, guys, we were talking about the 10-second rule yesterday. It's a clearly stated rule, right? In my humble opinion, I think it's fair and normal. Would I like it not to be there? Sure, I'd like it not to be there. But I think if you decide, hey, I scalp, I'm a tick scalper, if you're a micro scalper, right? Really scalping for extreme small price movements, very, very small. Top one might not be the space for you, right? Top Step maybe is one that doesn't have any rule. Probably going to struggle at a lot of other firms. Tradeify, I see a whole bunch of stuff blowing up about some new firm that has a rule. They're clear rules, right? Again, hang on one second because I'm going to read this. You guys, I don't know. Maybe you guys find this stuff funny. I find it funny. Hang on one second. Let's see. Top one is here's someone's comment who obviously didn't follow the rule. Top one is a pure joke. Stop promoting them. We're leading a movement to eliminate scam firms that has crazy reasons. There's obviously a language barrier here also for denying payouts. Like, for instance, they won't pay you if you hit under 10 seconds trade per the rules. Per the rules. But they let you lose in 10 seconds. You think they're going to say, oh, well, we add that loss back to your account. Stop it, bro. That type of stuff just blows my mind, guys. Absolutely blows my mind. If you say, hey, I don't like that firm because of the 10-second rule, totally understand. Crazy reasons for denying your payouts, a scam. If something is very clearly laid out like that, like we're not even debating whether or not it's clearly laid out. We're saying as per the rules, and we're quoting exactly what the rules are. Just don't trade the account. If you don't like it, don't trade the account, right? I watched this big video. It was like a 20-minute video of someone who clearly violated rules. It wasn't disputing that they violated rules at all and was just upset about them not, allowing them to violate the rules. Like, I don't know, guys. If you speed and the speed limit is 65 and you get pulled over and the cop says, how fast you're going? You say, yeah, 100, but this rule's stupid. I want to go 100 miles an hour and, I'm not going to pay this fine and I shouldn't be pulled over. It's not going to go too well for you. Like, you're not even trying to say you weren't speeding. So anyway, that type of stuff to me just, I don't get it. But yeah, again, across other firms, I'll talk about across other firms. I know Top Step I don't have a ton of experience with a million different prop firms, right? But I've traded Top Step, I've traded Tradeify. Top Step does not have a minimum hold time rule. They do have an excessive trade rule. You can read through that. They have a prohibited practice against opening and closing way too many trades. Tradeify, for example, does have a minimum hold time rule. I think it's 5 seconds, 50% of trades and/or profit, I think it's similar, have to be hold for 5 seconds or more. Another clearly stated one. I think funded next or funded ticks or funded pips, don't quote me on it. I don't know the name of it, but it's funded something. There was a lot of people talking about their minimum hold time rule. I think it was like 20 seconds, and it was also a certain number of distance for the trade, right? These are just clearly stated rules, guys, right? For whatever reason the firm has them to avoid just insane trading that they can't manage risk on or that they don't think will ever work in a live account, so they don't want to allow you to do it in the sim environment, to prevent HFT and algos, to prevent gaming the sim environment, whatever the reason is, it's a rule, right? It's very clear. If you don't like it and you say, that's not going to work for me, just don't trade it. That's why you do your own research and make your own decisions, really simple. Find stuff that works for you, right? You might say, hey, I like Top Step, but I don't want to have to trade for 2 days of an eval and then 5, $200 days, right? You might say, like, anybody that says, like, it's a scam, they make you trade for $200 days after you pass, what a complete scam, you can just have a good trading day and now you have to keep trading. No, bro, the rule is clear. Like, these are clearly stated rules. It's very obvious. So anyway, I made a video about some of the rules that people talk about with Top One specifically, laying out exactly what they are, exactly where you can find them on the site, where they are very clearly stated, and, where you should have, pay some attention to. So, again, minimum hold time rules, I would say are common in prop firms. They are at most, but not all. Just like there's a ton of other rules. Pay attention to what they are. You don't want to trade them. You don't want any rules. Open up a live account. You don't have to deal with any rules, right? Outside of just your own broker, your CME rules. Anyway, that's my rant for this morning. But yeah, simple. That DM that you sent me, damn, Yeah, not getting the we tried to get the little reversion here, not getting it off of this trade, guys, unfortunately. Finding buyers again off of VWAP. Last chance to get one sweep above this level and continue lower. We just grabbed some liquidity right there at the 50s. Got a chance for this to come back down, but it's looking like we want to pop up on this right now, maybe to the 55s, 60s. We got some orders at 70 on NQ. Hanging on to this one. Not really a reason for me to close it. I think I can still survive by the skin of my teeth. But yeah, losing faith right here. Let's see. Allowed for a little bit of a sweep above this level. Not by much. Not by much. A few points. Looks like we're going to take a stop on this one to get started. We came back above VWAP, tried to come back down through. I like this trade. I like it for a reversion just on a sweep above VWAP. We didn't get that. We broke and retested. Another day this one pays me, but not today. Not today. Take a stop and look for a follow-up. That's going to be my game plan. 8:13. We got about 15 minutes until red folder news drops. That's going to be pretty heavy. Maybe we run a wild CPI trade today, but probably not. Probably not.
Order filled.
Let's see. 10-second rule is only a problem for NQ. Only traders, people who can't get payout for the life of them unless they trade. Negative risk reward top step pays me out without problem. Yeah, that's one way to think about it. Yeah, I don't see anybody having any issues at all with top one if you follow the rules. See, just like every other firm, I don't see many issues at most firms if you follow the rules. Pretty simple. That person makes 0 sense. Yeah, I agree. But I'm biased, right? I always say that. I'm biased. I'm partnered with Top One. I stand to make money. I can't be unbiased. But here's my unbiased opinion. At any firm, at any prop firm, as long as the rules are stated and you know what the rule is, if you think it's too difficult to deal with, it doesn't shift the odds in your favor, you know it's not going to work for you. I just think you say don't trade with it. You might think it's not a good rule. You might think it's too aggressive. You might think it's not fair. But to call something a scam or fraud or you're denying payouts for crazy reasons, it's just very clear cut. This stuff is really clear, guys. Prop firms in general, futures prop firms, retail, Forex prop firms, even real prop firms, they're going to have a lot of rules around risk management. You know, if you don't want those at all, don't trade with any prop firm, right? But that type of stuff to me, you know, I think it comes from, unfortunately, like, you know, people just being upset or, you know, competitors wanting to spread FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, you know, around other firms, right? Some of it does come from a business, you know, standpoint, right? And they kind of hype everybody up, and then naive traders, you know, start to just kind of get all jacked up about it. But anyway, I'll always share my opinion on it since we started talking about it today. But that's why I mention it, right? I talk about it as I'm in a trade, how I will handle that, right? If I started to have a couple trades rocket to a take profit, past like 2 or 3 of them, I know I'm probably going to have a problem. So I got to start doing something differently. Maybe you don't throw a take profit in there for the first 10 seconds. Maybe you widen it out a whole lot, right? You know, you account for it. So we popped back up above VWAP, broken, retested. I still think we're coming back down below this level. I'd like to short it again after this reaction, but I'm not going to do it just yet. I unfortunately think this may be a wick out before continuation back down. Let's see. See if NQ is going to be tough for me this morning as we get warned back up on some scalping. Got about 12, 13 minutes till red folder news, guys. We got CPI coming out. I would definitely be cautious if you are trading into this. If you have a trade running, you know, reason to exercise caution. I'll throw this up on the screen one more time. 8:30 a.m. CPI news coming out. This is likely to cause some volatility in the markets. Let's see. Yeah, at this point, guys, we got, coming up on 10 minutes is red folder news. Unless I want to run something into it, which I don't know that I do. I'm probably just going to sit patient, let that crazy candle start to print, and then maybe we look for something after. We look to scalp that aftershock. Again, I don't traditionally trade pre-market. Want to hop on here, and I'm happy to spend more time staring at this NQ chart and really forward test, right? I really consider anything that you don't have a lot of data, weeks, months, more than months of trading time and data and results for, and very refined, kind of forward testing, right? Back testing, great. You build a little bit of confidence, you kind of get a feel for what's going on, but then trading it live is the way. But I think keeping your expectations realistic, right? So I'm hopping on pre-market to trade with you guys. I don't have any crazy expectations, right? Take some wins, take some W's, but for the most part, for me, I want to watch NQ. I really have been enjoying scalping NQ since I've started this. Now, again, I've made videos in the past. You can go back through and watch some of that stuff, but I'm just enamored with the really I don't know. I can't put my finger on it why. The really tight price movement on the 1 minute chart and the ability to use bookmap, right? We all find our personality, ways that we want to trade, tools that we want to utilize. ES works very well for me. I do enjoy it. Lately, it's been a little bit of a pain in the ass, for lack of a better term. But I do just continually find myself coming back to NQ. I can only go so long off of it, and then focused up really aggressively on it. So we'll see. It also helps being super zoomed in to create a large sample size quickly, right? To smooth out that equity curve, but to take a higher frequency of trades during different trading sessions as I'm trading live with you guys and manage a bunch of different prop firm accounts. So for some of those reasons, but mainly just because I want to. We're here on NQ looking to scalp. But you only build more experience, more intuition, more of that implicit memory the more that you watch candlesticks print, right? Or watch bookmap function. Yeah, so we got under 10 minutes to some red folder news. I do repeat that a lot when we have something pretty heavy coming out and when I remember it. So we'll see what that kicks us off and does, but I wouldn't mind trying to scalp some volatility on that one. We shall see. Let's see. Top one isn't saying mistakes happen and you have one occurrence and they aren't paying you out. I think the 50% rule is very lenient. Mistakes. Yeah. Again, if you want to scalp for under 10 seconds, primarily, top one's not the place for you, right? Many other prop firms are not going to be the place for you. Find something that works, Same with any of the other rules. You could pick out anything and say, hey, that's not going to work for me. It's pretty straightforward. Yo, Zach, about the minimum hold time rule. If I hold a trade for, let's say, 5 minutes, and then the market moves in my direction, and I add more orders but close within 10 seconds of adding, is that cool? Let's read the rule together. It's a good question. As this comes all the way back down through VWAP, I think we trade towards the 30s, but maybe not before news. Unfortunately, wicked out on this one and now back past my entry. Didn't want to give it much more room than that, but that wasn't a lot, man. That wasn't a lot before it ticked me out and then continued back down. Tried to give it a little bit more room than I initially had, but obviously not enough. Let's see what we got, right? You open a trade. So where? Let me read this question again. Good morning, man, Moxie. What's up? If about the minimal time rule, if you hold a trade for let's say 5 minutes more, but close within 10 seconds. No, I probably wouldn't do that either, Kingpin. I'd have to ask. I'd really have to ask to know exactly what, because they give a couple examples here, right? Just for different stuff, but they don't give that one. You open a trade and add more contracts after 5 seconds. You close everything after 15 seconds. That's okay. But I think it does depend on it depends on the last trade, on whatever that add or remove is. You open 2 contracts, close one after 5 seconds, hold the other one. That's considered a violation because part of the position was closed too soon. So if you have trades running and then you add and remove really quickly, I think that's still going to be a violation. So I would say for safety, I don't know for 100% certain. I would say for safety to not do that though. Oof. Harsh rejection off of VWAP again on that one. It looks like maybe we would have just moved a tick past my entry and then came right back. But again, guys, we got some volatility coming in, or I would expect some volatility coming in, getting ready in the next about 5 minutes. CPI news getting ready to come out. We will see what this candle looks like. Maybe look to scalp a little bit after this news drops. Like I said, I got about until 9:15 to trade live with you guys here. See what we can do on NQ for pre-market. 1L so far. That's what I got rolling. Yeah, I'm also just so we're like, because we're always answering questions, talking about top one, talking about prop firms. I'm also trying to do something. I'm trying actually to use AI to help me out to do it. I'm going to try to go through different firms' Discords and pull out all the most popular questions, right? Repetitive questions, and then make videos on them, right? Really simple. I like to just do that because I make a whole bunch of content, right? And I can't always just come up with ideas, so I try to answer questions, right? You want to make stuff based on what people want to know. I saw multiple people ask the same question today, and I just read it again. Somebody asked, will there be big slippage if my stop loss gets hit during the news? Not specific to any one firm or platform, but since we have red folder news coming up, during really high volatile periods in the market, especially ones that you can expect, which would be red folder, high impact financial news on the U.S. indices and on other instruments, yes, you can experience slippage if your stop loss gets hit, or if any stop order gets hit, or if you attempt to mark it in, a million different things, right? You can experience, and on limit orders for that matter, but especially on stop loss orders, you can experience slippage, meaning if I have a trade on, should I do it for an example? You guys know what I'm talking about before we get a couple minutes? I don't want to completely sacrifice an account, but I think it could be a good example, right? To display this to you guys. You guys know what I'm talking about when I say slippage? Do we know what we're talking about? And a fill that is worse than your entered order? Somebody let me know in the chat. Feel free to chime in. If you don't, I could talk more about it. This is not inherently completely beginner focused because a lot of traders just, don't experience it because they don't find themselves trading through news or trading through just volatile events. But through volatile news events or just volatile time periods in the markets, when your order gets triggered, your stop loss order, maybe it says $200 on it like mine might, you run the risk of that being slipped, of being filled at a worse price than you anticipated because the market moves so rapidly in one direction, right? It blows past your stop, and by the time it gets triggered, you have a fill for a much worse price. Ooh, there's a sweep of this level right there and a reaction back in. Understand slippage? Yes, we know. Yeah. If anybody doesn't know, let me know. I'm tempted to run an example of it, right? Because oftentimes what I see, and I see first I see that question. That's somebody I could tell from their, I could tell from some of the people that they've been around that these are people that are receiving payouts. They're asking these questions. But also I think, it comes down to like it happens, and then they think, oh man, Tradeovate sucks, or TradingView sucks, or Project X sucks, or Ninja Trader sucks. They slipped me. I got a terrible fill. The fills suck. No, that would happen, no matter what broker you're at, because you had a stop loss super tight and it ripped through it, right? And it filled you at a much worse price. So I think it can be worth it to kind of talk about and demonstrate if people, aren't aware. But I don't want to intentionally get slipped if I don't have to. That was a nice sweep of an overnight high level, really what we're going to call Asia and London high, because the overnight session is not done yet. Got about a minute to run into some potential red folder news here, chat. That would have been a nice entry right off of that. Only thing keeping me out of something like that is the fact that we got a lot of news coming up. But who knows? These red folder news events have been kind of duds, honestly. Ooh, a lot of liquidity coming off the book. You can see it on ES. Something really interesting happens right before financial news events traditionally. Everything comes off. The algo is shut off, and majority of the orders on the book get removed. Essentially, it's market participants, algos, whatever it is, saying we don't want to get filled. We don't want to have an order entered during this news event. Spreads can widen out really significantly. Prices move very fast, and fills can get really dicey around this time. So if everybody responded, no, we don't know, I would throw a trade on, and you could watch me either take a nice W and maybe get slipped on the take profit, right? Get a better fill or a worse fill, or a stop loss and get slipped. So let's see. Gun to my head, which I don't have, 20 seconds. I would run this one long. I would always pick long for the U.S. indices, but I don't know. This feels like we could dump. I'm always gonna, if I have to, pick long for news events. Just watching them, they seem like they pop. But this one today feels like we could have also seen a dump. But there we go. Pop to the upside. Really nice aggressive candle. Here is our CPI news coming in. Let's see. Do we continue to the upside? Right up to this area of high volume. Right, looks like we're headed right back towards prior week high. Let's see, chat. So, again, if you were short, for example, off this level with a stop loss right here, that could blow past your stop and you can get a fill like way out here. That could get real dicey. But that's a nice reaction out of CPI. Big candle to the upside. Do we continue? Wow, we got some orders getting moved around on NQ here. Not too much until we get all the way up to the 450s on ES. Let's see. 1,000 lot filled on NQ. Right there. We're going to blow past prior week high. I'm watching the book on this. See if we don't want to trade some momentum here, man. I wouldn't mind taking one on this. See if we can't recover an L or take another quick stop. I think that's the way that this is going to go. Looking at the 15-minute, if I zoom out, prior week high is a pretty clear level up above. We go up and sweep that, I might be interested. Otherwise, I think we just blow past through to all-time highs, but I don't really anticipate that happening. Looking on Bookmap, there's not a whole lot more up there that we would want to go and grab. There's a little bit right above price right now that we look like we want to tap into. I might try to fade this initial move for a little bit of a pullback. Again, not holding on to say I think this whole thing is going to reverse, but that we pull back into this crazy now, what many will call an imbalance that we've created with this big pop up. But not yet. Not yet. Not with prior week high right there. 74, 70, 75. Ah, there was a nice nice dip. Let's go back to the 1 minute here. Yeah, I was tempted to get involved. 1 to 2 minutes after red folder news is really dicey, really volatile. It's pretty damn aggressive for what I like to do, but that's kind of what I was looking for right here. So unfortunately, just not aggressive enough to want to jump in on that. But let's see where we go from here. Let's see. Currently have 2 top 1 futures accounts. Thinking about adding another with consistency. Would the strategy be to use payout number 2, 1400 rather? Reaching the 1400 max. Trader Julie Kate, I'm not exactly sure what you're asking there. And another with consistency. Would the strategy be to use payout number 2? Or maybe you're just telling me something. Maybe you're telling me something. I don't know. It just depends on, if you're asking strategy between accounts, what you want to do. It just depends. Depends on your goals, right? Depends on how much capital you want to allocate to trading with prop firms. Depends on if you're focusing on a live account, right? Whether you want to build up more of a buffer or not. I think all of these things start to come into play. For the most part, I think traders are usually in 2 camps, right? They are focusing on working themselves towards payouts in the most efficient way that they possibly can, either by trading multiple accounts or copy trading, or they start to get past that. Maybe they take multiple payouts, from different firms, and they say, okay, I kind of see which way this is going to go. Live account, right? Live account is where I'm going to get kicked to pretty soon, whether I want to or not. I can take a look at what this looks like. Maybe putting some of these funds into my own live account, starting to trade that, but have a longer term goal of maybe building a buffer that I would want to get taken with me to a live account if I get considered for a live account, right? I'm sorry, guys. I'm just watching this to the upside, and I'll come back to questions because I know we're asking some. So that was a little dip down and then a push higher. This is kind of interesting. Yeah, this is volatile, very volatile to be trading one NQ contract on. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna go to micros. This is just a bit too aggressive. 5 micros looks like it's gonna work way better for me. This is just a bit too aggressive. I'm tempted to fade this below the 23,800s. We got a lot of orders right here. Do I want to try a short? Completely fade this move. Quick pull back down, maybe below this low. Just trying to measure out volatility here.
Order filled.
I'm gonna try a short on this bad boy, guys. Even that's not enough. Yeah, this is too volatile for my liking, and 5's a little bit too heavy. Yeah, we're gonna see what this looks like here, but I dropped even down to micros, went with 5 micros, but this is too tight. This is too tight. It's okay. Not quick enough to adjust to the increase in volatility. So it's either going to be a stop for a little more than I'd like to take. I wanted to get above this 23,800 level, but I'm not going to put that much more risk on. So this might not give me the amount of trades that I would like today. But let's see if we can get a little bit of reaction. I'm fading this movement, which is a bold play and unfortunately not working out nicely for me. But yeah, that was a little bit too. I'm glad I didn't keep it on a mini. That would have been way too aggressive. That would have been an immediate stop out. But we had quite a bit sitting right at the 790s, 23 790s that filled. This looks like we come through the 800s with some force here. Yep. 2 stops on this one, guys. Fading news. All you got to do is hit the buy button for me, and I'm hitting the sell button. I'm probably gonna limit myself and say that's it. I don't want to dig myself more of a hole on this. Don't want to dig myself more of a hole. I think we might get a reaction off of this, which is going to be frustrating to watch. I wanted my stop loss wider than this level because we had quite a bit of liquidity right here. I felt we could get a reaction right here, maybe below this, which is why I got short below it. But wanted a stop loss outside of this. Just too volatile for me to do that with 5 micros even. Dropped down to micros to try to widen out. Got a little bit above, but not enough. Not enough. Not enough. So let's see if we get a reaction off of that or if we just continue. Different payouts have different amounts for consistency rule. 150K. You did answer your own question. I think you did answer your own question. Yeah, attempted 2 trades on this bad boy. One well before this news. It just didn't play out in my direction. We came back above VWAP, held, and really aggressively pushed to the upside. Tried to fade some of this news pop off the 800s, just not wide enough on a stop. Even dropping back down here to the micros. Yeah, I got a little bit of time left. I might have to swap an account because I don't know that I want to take much more than 556 on this one. Let me go ahead and do this. Chat. While we're hanging out, Top 1 futures is 55% off. Feel free to go ahead and check that out. But I'm going to go ahead and get a swap an account on this one. This way I don't bury any one account. Boom. $50K account number 2 out of 3. Let's see what we can do. Oh, this is definitely old. That's got to get removed. Take a look at where this is on the NQ chart. All the way above prior day high. Man, I don't think we blast through this, guys. I'm watching Bookmap. I'm watching levels get eat up above. I just want to see if there's another level that I want to try this off of. Up above the 830s on Bookmap have some orders. If I take a look at ES, the 50s look like the next stack of orders that maybe want to get filled before market opens up here in about 45 minutes. NQ's got some above, but I was looking for a nice potential reaction on this to the downside, but I don't know that we get it, man. This is pretty gnarly now. Let's see, chat. Let's see. So far, 2 L's for 550. We're over to another 50K. Try to spread some of this risk. See if we can't get another one on here. Zooming out, checking higher time frames. Do we just blast off through all-time highs? Or do we get a reaction off the 800s here? Starting to get some selling pressure coming in. Got some sellers coming in now on this one. Do we drop right back down to this level? Do we find some buyers right here? Let's take a look and see. Still plenty of orders up above. Up above. Still a fairly positive CVD looking at this, but I was looking for a pullback down, maybe below this low here earlier. Just didn't get that one. I'm cautious of fading this again below some of these levels, but I think maybe we pull back up around this high. I want to see what happens if we get up there. If we don't show some strength coming through, I might look to try this again. Yeah, we'll see. We're kind of hanging out up here. I need to see a little bit of a pullback up here, and then buyers fail again to come lower. This could be a little breakout lower. This could be a break and retest to the upside. Not a whole bunch of confirmation on this, and not too much from Bookmap. Orders up above that might want to go and get filled. A little bit down below into the 740s. I could see the pullback down here, but I really want it to be a nice setup if I'm going to try it again. It would potentially be a third L, and that just doesn't set me up well for the rest of the day if I have to start my morning like that. Just getting cooked on back-to-back L's, trying it in the same direction. So let's see if we get up here and maybe we find something. We start to move, I'll pay attention. But I showed this before. I was swapping over accounts. Showed this before, guys. This is ending Thursday. So today's Tuesday. This is ending Thursday. 55% off, code RDF. You can also get an additional 5% off with code STACK5 if you head to the site and if you sign up for their email newsletter. Crazy deal. I don't think we're going to see a deal this deep from them until probably like Black Friday, Christmas. This is probably going away for the summer into the fall months, but it is dropping. It's done after Thursday. If you want to check it out, link is pinned in the chat. As always, I'm partnered. I'm affiliated. I stand to make money. I can't be unbiased. Check this stuff out for yourself if you want to make sure that the rules, the conditions are good for you personally, right? Maybe you scalp for 0.2 seconds, and that 10-second rule is not going to work nicely with you. You're not going to know that unless you go through and read the rules for yourself and make that decision. Start to consolidate up here a little bit. Let's see. And then again, guys, I'm hopping off before the open. Unfortunately, got to go to a funeral, celebration of life. They're all called different things nowadays, but got to go to one of those. So no morning open stream for me. We'll be back for Power Hour. I'm pretty confident I'll be back for Power Hour, but I'm tentative. You could always hop in the free Discord. I'll keep you updated. And we'll go from there. But I'd like to jump in on one more. I got to get some trading in on these accounts. For the most part, I don't want to trade when there's no setup. I still think we pull back. But so far, this is pretty strong. I'd like to see maybe one more wick up, attempting to make another leg higher on this little break and retest here. And potentially look to fade this. I don't know that we just continue blasting off before NYSE open. I don't know that we fill any of these levels to the upside, but I'd like to get a stop above that high and potentially above. This would be potentially a little bit wider of a trade. Yeah, this is definitely going to be wider of a trade. Not as scalpy. Scalpy, but not as scalpy.
Order filled.
I'm gonna try it from up here, guys. Let me get rid of that. I'm gonna try it from up here. I'm running this again much wider. If we have to come through the 8, still a low risk, much wider, low risk, 3 micros. We have to come through. I don't know that I need to be that wide. Hold on one second, guys. Let me just size this up correctly. 830s have some liquidity. I want to be above that.
Order filled.
I'm adding into that one a little bit. I'm okay with this being a little bit wider. Yeah, 350 is going to be okay. A little bit wider. I'm not going to get multiple more trades in this account. It's pretty much going to be it for me until Power Hour. So I don't mind if I have to take an L 350. I still got room to work in this account. I think we're either going to see somewhat of a reaction all the way back down here on this, a nice sell-off, or I'm dead wrong. I'm fading this pop to the upside. We're going to continue drifting higher all the way up until NYSE open. We have a nice stack of orders up here, 830. We attempted to go and grab that a couple times, and we've failed. I think we either come back down out of this area of high volume, sweep lower, maybe get a continuation back into this area right here, back down towards VWAP, which we often see with these news movements. Or we have to come up here, grab this, maybe get a reaction after sweeping that high one more time, which is why my stop loss is outside of this high. Or we just blast higher, right? So a couple things could happen on this one. Obviously, market's going to go up or down, but that's my reasons for this trade. Got a way to structure risk, right? Got a way to say I'm dead wrong. We come through the 840s. I'm just absolutely dead wrong. We're just continuing through to the upside, blasting higher. But I like this for a reversion. I like this for a reversion back down. Don't need anything insane to make this a nice W. So we'll see. This could be something honestly that I actually look to add into. Again, a little bit different than a super scalpy trade, right? It's not stop loss and take profit right here. Just scalping this 1 minute price action. I'm giving this one more room to breathe. But that's my play. Short again. 23, 796.25. Stop at 23, 840. We will see. We'll see. But appreciate you guys hopping on for the morning stream, the pre-market stream. Thanks, guys, for being here. We'll be back for Power Hour like we talked about. Get some more NQ scalping in to finish out the day strong. $8.53. Yeah, guys, this one's probably gonna be a hang on to it because we could chop around here for a while. I'm debating if I would even want to run this wider and want to run a really nice wide take profit. This is just a little bit different of a setup. This is more of a standard ES style setup, or even that 5 a.m. setup, right? That NQ 5 a.m. play. $8.30s. Yeah, I'm zoomed out here a little bit, just getting a feel for yeah, I think I'm going to structure this one a little bit differently, guys. A little bit differently. This is going to be something that's probably going to get held into the open with a fixed take profit and stop loss. And it's going to be a more full risk for the day trade. To the downside, this could really turn into something decent. That would be all the way back down. That would be pretty nice. 740s even for a take profit. So this is going to turn into a 15-minute chart trade instead of a 1-minute scalp. But that's okay. And why am I doing that? Because I'm going to hop off the charts in about 10 minutes. And I'm going to have to let this bad boy either run into the open or just close out. And I think I'm going to vote run into the open. But if I'm going to do that, I am going to make this a much wider play. This is going to be a stop above this high way over here on the right-hand side, a much more full risk trade, and to take profit, yeah, somewhere all the way down here, nice $1,000 dub. That's what we'll be going for. This is either going to continue the upside, could make it a 1-to-1 just for fun. What account is this? Hang on one second, guys. Now I got to look at something different. Hang on one second. Consistency rules on these accounts are important. Sorry, and I know I'm moving stuff around here, but I'm trying to decide how I want to handle this. This is what happens, right? We have time constraints, right? We all have life. We all have things we have to do, and you got to decide: do I want to take the trade off before volatile, time of day, which is going to be NYSE Open, or do I want to leave it on? Yeah, so this one, if I take more than a $600 W, I'm pushing out the consistency rule, but I don't mind doing that on some of these accounts because again, the focus is live. The focus is live, so that's a nice reaction out of this bad boy. So I think, yeah, this is going to be a wider take profit, wider stop loss move 23,700s is not a bad area to look for. We got some liquidity on the book down there. If I came all the way down with it, that's probably the most I would want to take on for right now in this account. I'd be pushing the profit target out to 5,000 instead of 3,000. 1,500 for sure makes it 7,500. Just talking consistency rules. That'd be all the way down to a nice level of structure here. I don't mind that, but I think we're gonna go with the 720s on this bad boy. Nah, 700s have lit up. Yeah, I think I front run the 700s on this. That's gonna be the game plan. Front run the 700s on this bad boy. Front run meaning I'm gonna be a couple points above, but we got a nice stack of orders down there. If we're gonna pull back down into this area, that's what I want to see. So that's gonna be my play, guys. I'm gonna run this one really wide like this. Turn it into a much more of a position type trade. Hold on to it. Move back to VWAP type of deal. So that's going to be my play. Again, got to hop off the charts in about 15 minutes. So, you have to make a decision. Do you want to leave a super duper tight scalpy trade on there where you typically manage it based on market generated information where you're not going to be able to? Or, maybe do you want to just allow the market to do what it's going to do and potentially play out in your favor? So we'll see. I'm red 550 if you hopped on, or 560, whatever that number was. Over 500 in 150K. We'll see if we can't get a nice recovery here on a second account. And then hop back on for Power Hour and see what we can do. Morning, Biblical. What's up? Prayers for you and the family. Appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, going to get ready to wrap it up here. Remember, we're back on. We're here live every damn day. Now 2 times a day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to like, subscribe. Feel free to do whatever you want to do or don't do whatever you want to do. I'm going to throw the link to the 100% free Discord. Not a VIP feeder community. Nothing on there outside of free sauce, right? If you want to check that out, link is in the chat. More than happy to have you in there. More than happy to have you on these live sessions with me. If you guys want to check out Top 1 Futures, link is pinned in the chat as well. 55% off with code RDF. That ends on Thursday. I try to let you guys know when this stuff is going to come to an end. That ends on Thursday. I don't think they're going to have much else that rolls out before. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that, but I'd say probably, Black Friday, we get big deals. Christmas, we get big deals, stuff like that. So if you want to check that out, link is in the chat. Unfortunately, ending this one red, even with the $200 that I have running in profit. Plus, we know until you close a trade, that money ain't in the bank. But you know where my take profit, my stop loss is on this one. I'm not going to touch this one. If I do, you'll know about it. I'll talk about it in Discord. So, guys, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say or do is financial advice. Trading's risky. Most traders do lose money. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. I'm just an idiot here yapping on YouTube for entertainment purposes only. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop from accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. We may or may not be running duck races for some giveaways on the next stream about 3 p.m. for Power Hour. See you guys later. Hope you have an awesome rest of the trading morning. Again, I am not on live this morning for NYSE Open. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great rest of the trading day. I'll catch up with you about 3 p.m. Talk to you guys soon.